things like PO box, right? Things like marital status, things like ID number, and things like profile pictures, right? That I still see in the CVs that are coming through. Those are completely unnecessary. You don't need to have references on your CV. We currently have a 6-second rule that recruiters employ. So that means a recruiter spends 6 seconds looking at your CV before they decide they're going to toss it or move forward with it.
Oh, wow. What should my salary expectation be in terms of a remote role? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Finance Friday. I'm very glad to have you guys here. Now, this conversation is a continuation of a conversation we started last week regarding how to prepare and to set yourself up to be able to access remote jobs. If you missed that video, I'm going to link it down in the description box below so that you can start there, okay? And then once you're done with part 1 of this discussion, you can come join us for this part 2, where we are going to focus on the preparation process today, and we are also going to be talking moolah. We'll be talking money. So today, Lorraine, I'm very happy that we are still here with you. I want us to, last week we really handled a lot about the skills someone needs to kind of like think about in terms of like setting themselves up.
Yeah.
We discussed the industries that are hard. For the people who missed, we obviously talked about tech, we talked about customer experience, we talked about blockchain, opportunities in the blockchain industry as well. So today I really want us now to go into the nitty-gritty process of like, I am a new candidate. Maybe I work in a company here in Kenya that I'm not happy with.
Yeah.
Or I just graduated and I'm looking into getting into the remote working space. I want you to take us through like the step-by-step preparation process from the word go to when someone actually lands an interview. What should that look like? And maybe if I can provide some guidance, I think I'd really want us to start with just the personal branding aspect of it, because I feel like that's huge. Perception really is everything. Every time I talk to people who now work remote jobs, I feel like there's just something. There's always something in terms of like how they carry themselves, in terms of like what your personal brand looks like. So professionally speaking, what should this person's personal brand look like? Like you've just left school. What should you begin to work on? Or maybe you're ready to transition. What should your personal brand look like? Like, is it socials? Is it LinkedIn? Is it what should that look like?
Yeah. And I remember last week, we spoke about ATS CV, optimized LinkedIn profile, and whatnot, right? So that is covered. Yeah. If you haven't watched that video, watch it.
Yeah.
So the first thing that you're going to do, because again, to reiterate, your competition is global. Right? So it's all about positioning yourself, and how do you sell yourself is through your CV, your LinkedIn profile, and not in an introduction and not in an interview, right? By the time you are getting into the interview, the recruiter already likes what they saw on your CV.
Exactly.
So things like PO box, right? Things like marital status, things like ID number, and things like profile pictures, right, that I still see in the CVs that are coming through, those are completely unnecessary.
Oh, really?
Yeah, remove those, right? You want to have...
Did you just say profile pictures? Like people just put their capucha there, like a selfie?
A selfie, yeah. Like we need to see you, right? So they say like I don't need to be seen to be hired.
All right.
Granted, in countries like Germany, and these are like on-site now roles, right? In countries like Germany and Dubai, they still need to see you.
Okay.
Right? Whereas even when you're working for those companies remotely, they don't need to see you to get hired. So remove it completely.
Okay.
Right? Then I have another references, which is debatable. The recruiters out there, yeah? But you don't need to have references on your CV due to data protection laws, right? The recruiters actually know that if they want to run a background check or a reference check, they need to seek your consent.
Okay.
Even in the application process, you're going to see either a checkbox, like do you do you consent to us running a background check or a reference check? So they are aware. So you don't even have to put references available in request. We know.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And the other thing that you have to do or be cognizant of is that we don't need, your CV isn't a story. It's not a novel. Yes, it's a story, but it's not a novel, right? So you don't need to have 6-10 pages of your CV. I have a rule of thumb. If you have 0 to 5 years of experience, 1 page maximum.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? If you've got 5 to 10 years of experience, 2 pages maximum. If you've got anything above 10 years of experience, 3 pages maximum.
Okay.
And there's a rationale behind this, right? It's not just a Lorraine thing, right? Because when you look at, we currently have a 6-second rule that recruiters employ. So that means a recruiter spends 6 seconds looking at your CV before they decide they're going to toss it or move forward with it.
Oh, wow.
So you have 6 seconds of fame. So you need to use it wisely.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So you don't want to see all the irrelevant things on your CV, like your educational background in terms of KCP and KCSE. You just have your university and then have your certifications. And so that's why we dwelled so much
on the certifications. Okay.
Right?
So you don't need to know I went to Resemble Primary School.
How is
You don't need to know I went to Pangani Girls.
How is
and I got an A.
You went to Alliance.
You don't want to know that. I got an A. Where else will I display that? That's sobering, actually.
Yeah. Right?
So you just need to know what my undergrad was.
What's your undergrad?
And what my specializations are.
Exactly.
Period.
I don't even need to see the year in which you graduated.
Guys, isn't this so freeing? If you got a C, if you got a D, no one cares. Imagine no one cares.
No one cares.
That's so free.
Because it's what you bring to the table, right? It's your demonstrable knowledge, actually. Yes.
I love that. I feel like someone just, give me an amen if you just got redeemed right now. Because honestly, I feel like so many people, especially because our education system is kind of tailored to make you feel like if you were a C student, a D student, it's like your whole life is now wrecked.
Yes.
It's like you have no future if you got a D, if you got a C. But sometimes people do exams during tough seasons and periods of their life. It just doesn't reflect your intellect.
It doesn't.
So yeah. I love that they don't care about that. So what you're saying is that my CV should not have the unnecessary stuff. Part of it is that I was in Alliance and I got an A. The marriage rate, Alliance, rest.
Not relevant whatsoever.
Not relevant. Okay, so what your diploma is, what your undergrad is, and areas of specialization.
Exactly.
Okay.
And of course, now your work experience. And the technical skills.
Okay, cool.
Right? And then you're going to have a professional summary, which is a shorter version of your cover letter.
Okay, cool.
Then you also need a cover letter, which is actually meant to tell a story, right?
Now that's where you tell us your story.
That's where you tell a story, right?
Okay.
Especially if you're pivoting. You need to let them know why are you pivoting from HR to accounting, or why are you pivoting from healthcare to, customer service, right? So people need to connect with you.
Yeah.
So that is the cover letter and the CV.
Yeah. Would that apply to someone who has a long gap, maybe in their CV? Either they took a sabbatical or something. Does that count?
That is interesting
Tricky
question. Because I personally don't like to leave gaps on my CV.
Okay, yeah.
Right? So I like to ask, during this gap,
what were you
doing?
Yeah.
Did you register to courses? Were you running a business? Because sometimes people are running let's say mama and burger businesses, or even a toy shop. And they're I was just,
and that's relevant.
And it's relevant because I was just a business. It is not just, you are a business person. And of course, I'm not going to have you, unless you're applying for CFO roles or CEO roles or COO roles, then it makes sense for you to let them know that you're running your business. Otherwise, you're going to be, how I'm going to position you is you are an employee of your business.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Right? And then I will move forward with that. So that's how we close the gap.
All right. Yeah.
So that is the CV and the cover letter. The next thing, because I am yet to come across a role that just needs a CV, that doesn't need a LinkedIn profile. So the next thing is, of course, to work on your LinkedIn profile. Yeah, we all can have a LinkedIn profile, but it needs to be optimized.
Okay.
For 2 reasons. You need your profile to be searchable and visible to recruiters. We are over 1 billion members on LinkedIn.
Oh, wow.
So we need to stand from the crowd, right? And that is also why you need to have it optimized, right? So optimization technically means, adding keywords relevant to your field.
So it's like how I would do SEO on my website.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that let's say recruiter A is looking for an accountant. On the type of accountant, your profile is amongst the ones that
Come up.
wow. Right?
Okay.
So that is where, apart from just having keywords, relevant keywords on your profile, you also need to be active on LinkedIn. It is not Facebook.
I know, right? You just show up to like,
Yes.
then disappear.
Or some people don't even actually show up to like. They just know that, I once created a LinkedIn profile. You need to be active.
What does active look like?
Active looks like posting original content at least once a month.
Okay.
Right?
Something of your own
creation. Yeah. And you can use AI. I mean, this AI. You can use AI to kind of help you with that, right? So that is one. 2, you actually have to comment and like
other people
and subscribe.
Yeah.
Right? Not subscribe and follow. So you also have to grow.
So engage with
other people and other people's content as well.
Okay.
Right? Then you have to work on your not followership. What is it called?
Connections. Yeah.
Right? The rule of thumb is 500 plus because 500 is the minimum.
Okay.
So
connect with people like in your industry.
Connect with people in the industry, of course, right? And there are numerous people. Connect with people in your industry. Connect with other remote workers. Connect with people that, you aspire to be like.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised how, welcoming and, people just click connect without actually thinking about it. But that's how you grow your network.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So there's that. And then now let's talk about how your LinkedIn profile should look like. First, if you still have that sky blue LinkedIn banner that LinkedIn gives everyone, please change it.
So you need to have your own banner.
Exactly. Because it's all about words.
Personal branding. Exactly. Yeah.
Right? So you need to stand up from the crowd.
Okay.
So change that. If you don't have a picture, I don't know why people still don't have pictures.
People don't have headshots, like proper headshots.
Get one. And I'm not talking about the selfie one because it can be, it's visible that this is a selfie. So put a little bit of more effort in having a headshot, right? So make sure that it's crisp, it's clear. Go to the studio.
Yeah. Just get a photographer to do that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right? And then you also want to work on your headline. So if you're a student and your headline still says students and MKU or KU, what are you doing?
What do you mean?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Or aspiring digital marketer, change that, right? Then have
something more attractive to a potential recruiter.
Exactly. So let's say if you wanted to get into digital marketing and you're aspiring digital marketer, you have that digital marketer, stroke social media manager, stroke copywriter, stroke something.
Yeah. No, that's
a keyword.
Oh, I love that.
Relevant to the space in which you want to get in.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. And then you want to also work on your about section. So about section is where you actually sell yourself.
You sell yourself.
Yeah.
In such few sentences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? And I actually love LinkedIn because then you can, if you're a project manager and you've worked on different projects, then you put it on LinkedIn. Right? The CV is quite restrictive.
Is it on LinkedIn?
That's where you explore, you show your personality, etc., etc. Like if you've done short courses, you have them there. If you've done volunteer work, you have them there as well. If you're interested in certain areas, let's say like community work or children, you have it there. Let them see you, who Susan is. Yeah,
I love that. And I think I saw on your website that's one of the services that you offer. Because do you know what? I can't customize my LinkedIn to save my life. I think I'm non-existent on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Probably because I'm not in like the applying for jobs phase. But even before, I just couldn't figure out. I feel like there's a lingo on LinkedIn.
Yeah, a LinkedIn lingo.
Yeah, there's a LinkedIn lingo, and then it sometimes it feels cliquey. Sometimes it's also depressing because every time I logged in, kwanza when I was applying for jobs, everyone is posting. I just started a new role. I'm like, new atum nato hizi jobs wapi? Like everyone is starting a new role every day on LinkedIn. I'm like, are you guys lying? I'm suspect. Because I honestly, by the time I was starting my business, I really, really, really struggled to get a job. I think not because I didn't have papers or anything, but I do think there is such a power in professionals like yourself, because so many of us are talented. So talented.
Yeah.
You have your papers going on for you, you have skills going on for you. But I feel because we struggle with the whole packaging ourselves and knowing how to properly position ourselves, we miss opportunities. Because I've met people severally who've asked me, but where have you been? Like, where have you been all this time? Like, I've never heard of you. I've never seen you. It's almost like, I even got someone who looked at my papers much, much later after I had given up on getting work. And they're like, how could you not get work with this?
Positioning.
And that's one of the things. And for me, I've become so big. One of the leveling up that I always tell people, women, men, everyone, young professionals to do is to literally coach up.
Yes.
When we're saying level up, coach up, there's such a power every time. I'm working on my public speaking skills right now. I'm working with someone who's very good at public speaking, helping me to do that, because I was like, fine, as much as you're gifted in speaking and you do YouTube videos and all of that, there's a science to this thing.
There's a level to
there's levels to this art, right?
Yeah.
And I'm happy to do that. People who work with me, for example, for finance coaching, I've worked with people who work in banks and are bank managers, and they tell me, Susan, the ballgame is so different. Like, managing money for my company versus managing my own personal money, that's so different, right?
Yeah.
So I really love that what you guys offer, like in terms of like the LinkedIn profile optimization, the CV optimization. When I saw some of the work that you've been doing, I was just like, I would never have thought of doing it like this.
Yeah.
So it's really amazing. I love that. That's in terms of personal branding. What else do you feel like would really benefit someone in terms of preparation? Is there some form of networking? Are there forums or groups or platforms that someone needs to be, so that you kind of like, again, I think I told you, I really feel like the space is very cliquey.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's cliquey or, to be honest, that's that. And I got a lot of that feedback even on my Instagram page, where watu work remote work wakwambiangi mali wanazitoanga wanakuanga wapi.
Yeah.
So are there any platforms, not just platforms but groups, is there something you need to do to kind of like it's almost like giving you an edge to be able to be aware that there's this opportunities, this is how I do it, because I know like in the Kenyan space, you'll always hear like when there's any networking events, you show up where there are recruiters, etc. So is there such a thing for like remote work or the online space?
Not that I know of, right? I know there are tech forums currently happening, right? How easy it is for you to like get a recommendation, I'm not sure. Then now that comes to, how well you're able to network and make friends, right?
Exactly.
So you can maybe attend those forums, right? Just if there's anyone who's interested in joining those forums, just go into TikTok. Literally TikTok, and just type tech forums in Kenya,
and you'll get that. Yeah. Do you know what's fascinating? Your first ever remote job, for the guys who didn't watch last week, or you maybe skipped this part, Lorraine got her first remote job because she saw something on TikTok. And the way I judge TikTok people, we are just like, I'm too grown. I'm too grown for TikTok. Do you know actually someone has been scamming people on TikTok using my name and platform? Like they've taken all my videos, and then like every time I change my DP, they change it and all of that, and then they're telling people's G how they will make them how much. I'm like, guys, if you know me so well, I'm not making no one no money. I don't run an investment company. But anyway, so that's amazing. So go on to TikTok. Go on to TikTok. Some of those things. Okay.
But I feel like I need to also mention this, right? So we talked about the CV, we talked about the LinkedIn. As of January of last year, right? I think we mentioned this in the last video. There is this thing called Introductory video.
Okay.
Right? Because now with the rise of career coaches and AI, right? Everyone has a bomb CV and an optimized LinkedIn profile. But they're not able to walk the talk when it comes to the interview.
Okay.
So for recruiters not to waste their time, right, with non-potential candidates, they now request over an introductory video.
Okay.
In that video, what you're answering is tell me about yourself.
Can I put you to the test?
Okay.
I want to put you on the spotlight, yeah?
Yes.
Say I'm a recruiter and I've asked you for an introductory video. How long is it, first of all?
Maximum 2 minutes. 2 minutes. What's 1 to 2 minutes?
Go.
Hi, my name is Lorraine Otieno. I am a career coach and a HR professional with over 9 years of experience, having worked both locally and globally. One of the things that I'm interested in HR is talent management. That is my passion, and coaching in particular, because I know how difficult it is and how expensive it is for a company to actually get the right candidate and for them to retain that candidate. So what then I come on board to do is to ensure that the employee experience is exceptional and we get the most out of our employees whilst making them feel valuable. I'd be curious to hear more about your company, and yeah, I'm open to engaging further with you. Thank you.
Hey, guys, can we just wrap it up? How long did it take you to perfect? Like, it's what we call your elevator pitch, right? Yes. You have 1 minute or 2 minutes to say exactly what you're about. Don't start saying, I am a daughter. I come from a family of 7. Yeah. I've not even had like which school you went to. I've not
because
had,
it's relevant.
So you've just talked about like what you're about, the skills you have, what you're bringing to the table, and, inviting them to now kind of like engage with you. Yeah. How long did it take you?
It takes time. It's also honest with you, right? And I think it's easier for me because you now have that as a service.
As a service, you training people to be okay, yeah. Right? So it's so quick. It's so quick.
And I didn't even mention like why am I passionate about HR?
Exactly.
So I had one of our clients who practiced this 150 times.
Oh dear.
For her to get it right.
I can imagine. It's scary. Do you know, up until maybe last year is when I stopped feeling like tell me about yourself was a trick question. It always feels like a trap. I'm just like, they just want me to fail.
Yes, it was so that never misses. In an interview, that is that one question that guarantee
you will be asked. Oh, wow. I love that. So guys, if you want that service, if you want to do, like, I just did go. And Lorraine was just like, I'm just like, okay, fine. I think I'm going to need that service from you after this. Can we wrap up with money, okay? I want to give you 3 scenarios, okay? Let me start with an entry-level graduate from diploma or degree, whatever. You have like your one certification, maybe you're like a software engineer, or you've done data analytics, or you've done a customer experience course. And you've just started, like you're coming in into this application process without experience. Mm-hmm. I think one of the most amazing things when we had our early, our first conversation, I asked you, Lorraine, is it possible for someone who's never had any experience whatsoever to land a job? And you told me yes. And I was like, where? Because here, they want 4 years experience for an entry level. I'm like, so nataka iyo 4 years experience nilikuwa naitwa nini KU for 4 years. It doesn't make sense. So I love that it's more realistic in the global space for them to actually hire like entry level people who literally they don't have background in terms of like ever having done something. Yeah. Because maybe you're fresh from school, you just have like your projects that you've done, etc. Mm-hmm. What should my salary expectation be in terms of a remote role?
So I'll put it this way: you can earn anything between $500 to $10,000 per month, depending on your level of experience.
Okay, cool.
Right?
All right.
So entry level, and I always say you cannot have no experience and earn experience.
$4,000 you can. Now any entry level, umeanza tu.
Or the people who tell you you're gonna work for 4 hours when you're earning $4,000. It's not worth it.
I feel like that's how people would have filtered the scamming campaigns. Yeah. But it's almost like because we are such, even in investments, we are such return chasers and money chasers that most of us don't sit to ask ourselves, in what world is that realistic? Yeah, okay.
Right. So I always say, let's say entry level customer service, let's go with that, right? Expect to earn anything between $900 per month to $2,000 per month.
Okay, so nothing below maybe, so we are looking at 50 Gs, 70,000 Kenya shillings and above, or you mean 90, like so that way?
Yeah, upwards, right?
So we're talking 100 Gs and above?
Yeah, so that is entry level. And remember, like these companies, they know when they're coming to pay you that they're paying you 3 times or 4 times the
what they would ideally have paid.
Yeah. Okay. So you're also not going to be working, like, I don't know, 4 hours. You're going to be working crazy shifts.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So that is entry level between $900 to $1,500, $2,000. 5 to, let's say, mid-level, you should expect to earn $3,000 to like $5,000.
Okay.
Now the $10,000 that I was talking about, that is then for like VPs and the director.
Oh, and CFOs.
And CFOs.
CEOs. Okay.
Right? So that's how it ranges.
Right.
But rest assured, if you're looking to transition from a local or on-site role to a remote work, just think of the money that you're earning and 4x it.
Excuse me, come again?
Think of the money that you're earning and 4 times it.
So if I'm working in Kenya right now as a HR professional, I earn 100,000.
Yes.
I'm trying to pivot into a similar role, but only in a remote setting.
Yes.
If they ask me of my salary expectations, I should just be like 400K.
400,000. $4,000.
I feel happy, but I'm also mad.
But then again,
why is that the case? Like, is it okay? Fine, I do understand the economic aspect of the fact that we are severely underpaid, but like sometimes when you look at like the wage gap between like me and my manager, I'm getting like 70K and he's earning like 800.
Yeah. I mean, Susan, you can spend, I don't know, like another 3 hours just talking about the inequalities of that.
Yeah.
But this is why we do what we do, right? Because there are better opportunities.
Right.
And you might be in a situation where you feel like you don't deserve the 400,000, you don't deserve the $4,000, but you actually do. Right? Based off of your skills.
We work so hard. And I think because we've grown up in a culture that has normalized bad pay, you feel lucky even. I mean, I meet people who tell me, oh my God, imagine napata 150K. Like, nikijaribu kufikiria financially, mtu ako na watoto watatu, you're back to nothing. It's almost peanuts. By the time you're done doing everything, it's almost like you're paid just enough to go back next month. Not enough for financial freedom, not enough for you to have a life, not enough for you to travel or improve your quality of life. I think which is why I want to keep having this conversation in terms of like getting remote work, because I love that. Like you've given me such an amazing, because even me, when I'm doing like brand partnerships here in Kenya, because I've worked with, for the past year, I worked with Skillshare, who are an amazing partner. I look at what they pay me and what like some of the local brands would offer to pay me. And it's almost like, excuse me, tunaweza kuwa serious.
But here's the thing, right? Because I know that people who are going to be looking at, jobs in the US, and they're going to find, let's say, a customer experience manager role that can pay you anything between 150,000 to 200,000.
Yeah.
And they specifically say that this pay is based off of their geographical location.
Yeah.
Because now we have to put into consideration the not economies of scale, but where you're based at, right?
Yeah.
And how easy or difficult it is to manage in that economy, right? Versus when you're in Kenya.
Okay.
So that's why I say that when remote companies come to Africa and they pay you 4x, of course they're not going to pay you how much they would pay
someone from the brand. Yeah.
Right? And it's still going to be
significantly lower.
But with that money in Kenya,
you do
it makes exactly. Right? So I'm not saying like remote work is now, the angel and this and that.
Yeah.
They still have, there's still pay discrimination.
Yeah.
But it's in a world where you have nothing.
That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
It's either that or nothing. And hopefully, we hope that as the global village becomes the global village that we all hope it will become, that you can be paid fair compensation, not based on just your geographical location, but what you bring to the table. But for me, because again, I'm such a budget girl, I honestly believe in every coin counts. So if you're able to get even your 900 USD, your 500 USD from whatever it is that you're doing, it's much better than, I think I was very sad when I was doing those stories and the Instagram stories that I told you about. And someone who works in hospitality, was telling me that they earn 13,000
gross.
And they work Monday to Saturday. I just kept kind of like wanting to, I'm like, people earn 13K, 15K, and you're working, you literally just have Sundays only or Mondays only. So guys, I hope this conversation has sparked, I know there's so much to talk about really, and we may not be able to cover all of that. But I really hope that it has inspired you to think differently. If you're especially like a young professional, you've just been trying to look for jobs. As part of your investment in personal development, I would highly, highly recommend that. Number one, please reach out to Lorraine Beyond the Savannah. I'm going to leave their link in the description box down below so that they can begin to help you from wherever it is, whether that is like just from the CV level or LinkedIn level, or knowing how to do your own introductory video, or just understanding, what you can do, because she would also be able to advise you to know like what kind of skills. And I think one of the things I love about that is that someone can really be able to optimize their money instead of just waking up one day, going online and seeing that everyone is doing software engineering. So you go and begin to kind of
virtual assistant.
And maybe that's not what is for you. If I only just had a limited amount of resources or money, I would want guidance to first of all be able to know where would I maximize my returns best. So please invest in coaching, invest in coaches like Lorraine, coaches like myself, invest in upskilling and actually getting into learning some of these demand-driven skills. I love to call they're demand-driven skills because the world is changing every day, right? Requirements are changing every day, because the thing is that I wish we'd all just graduate from, I feel like 2024 was, and that's by design, I feel. Just the economy was just, it's tough. It was hard. And so many of us were not able to achieve our financial goals, but not because of not wanting to. It was just we earned too little, right? So today's and last week's episode was all about just opening up our minds to know and to understand and to hear it from a professional that there are opportunities out there. They are viable. They're not scam. They're not scams, they are viable, and there's actually a way to prepare. I think one of the things I've gotten from our discussion from last week as well and today is that it's not a get rich quick scheme.
It isn't.
We are here talking LinkedIn optimization that might take days.
Yes.
We are here talking about doing your CV and cover letter that will cost you time and money. We are here talking about doing courses that are 3 months long, 6 months long sometimes, maybe even a year long. So it's not a get rich quick scheme. But one of the most motivating things a mentor told me last year was that say I'm 30 right now and I'm feeling, I'm too old, or I'm 40 or I'm 45, because I've also seen some of the people who are more advanced in age, especially like civil servants and some of my clients. I feel like some of them also feel like they're too old. They feel like data analytics, software engineering, AI ni hawa watoto wadogo. But really, I want to encourage like the much older folk that are also watching us. Listen, even if you're 40 right now, in 5 years, bado utakuwa 45. Whether ufanye certification or not, whether you start whether you pivot into a completely different career or not, you're still gonna be 45. So might as well. So do you want to turn 45 without or 45 with? And that
really had a parent yesterday from Botswana. She is in her mid-40s, and she was talking about crypto and blockchain.
I love it.
And she's single, like,
I love it. Yeah. I think the whole ageism thing needs to die in 2025. At the end of the day, I'm the one who knows what my bills look like. I'm the one who knows my vision in life, the kind of quality of life I'm after. So I don't think you're ever too young or ever too old to pivot and to do things differently. Lorraine, give us your parting shot and then let us know how we can reach you. Alafu sijui unatupea discount kwa Swa Finance Friday.
So that was our discount.
If I get a discount code, guys, I'm going to link it in the description box down below. After this episode, we'll see what we'll be able to get you. But anyway, give us your parting shot.
Parting shot, is that it is never too late. I think just to piggyback on what you're saying, it is never too late. If you want something, you can get it.
Yes.
Right? it means that, you're going to be uncomfortable sometimes. It means that you have to put in the work, but there's nothing worth having that comes easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to work remotely, you can. If I manage to work remotely from a manufacturing
farm, from mabati rollers,
rolling mill to a design tech company, I knew nothing about motion designers, creatives, whatnot. That world was completely new to me. But if I've managed to do it, I only say that you too can manage to do it, right? You just have to, put in the work.
Yeah.
Know that there's work to be done. It's not going to be easy. You have to invest in your time. You have to invest money. You have to prepare for your next big thing. Yeah. Then whether you pray, whether you manifest, whether you speak to a higher being, keep that also in the middle. Yeah, because it does get lonely. I mean, the journey isn't for the faint-hearted, but it is all worth it in the end, right? So I guess, like I said, if you want to work remotely, do it. Do it. I guess you can, right? The things, I'm a huge manifester. And as I said, whether you're manifesting or praying or whatnot, right? Just do you, do what works for you. And the things that we regret the most is not the things that we did, but the things that we did not do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you feel it in your heart of hearts that you want to do this, what is the worst someone can do? Give you rejections, get regrets, and who knows? You just need one yes.
Yeah.
Right? Just one person to give you a yes, one recruiter to give you a yes. Then you go nail the interview. Once you get an interview, register for an interview prep, because that is like a whole other story, how Kenyans are presenting, right? Get yourself an interview prep, go nail that interview, and start working remotely.
Right. And I love that you mentioned that nothing worth anything is, I mean, it's not easy. Sometimes it's not gonna be free. Yeah. It's not just gonna be like, I mean, so many. Think about it. It's unfortunate here in Kenya right now. People sometimes even pay, to get
a job. Yes.
Right. So, well, we are not saying to do that, but I feel like the investment behind like getting coaching, for example, getting an interview prep session, it's almost like, I feel like it's an ethical way to spend money in preparation. Because even if you don't land that role specifically, you're prepared. If you get another interview and another interview and another one. Yeah.
And do you know what? There's no client of mine who's actually landed an interview, whether they've gotten a job or not, and felt like, this remote work is not for me.
Yeah. They were even like, kind of like,
no, I mean, I sitaki local job anymore. I just want a more to up moving forward. It is that good even before you get in, right? Because of the environment that, they're showing you what you're coming to get, right? So, yeah.
Okay, amazing. So guys, as I said, you can always reach Lorraine. I will leave her email, her website, and her contacts in the description box down below. Please reach out to her. As I told you at the end of this, once we go for lunch, I'll try see if I can get my followers and my audience a discount code so that you can say Susan sent you and see if you'll save some of your bags. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Please let us know if you have any questions, any follow-up questions, any further discussion that you would like Lorraine and I to discuss. As I told you, you'll be our resident HR. Why? It's because we need to land these jobs. Yes. We need to make this money. And so we need to know how to strategically position ourselves.
And even when you get the job, you still need to know how to retain the job.
And to advance. So we'll definitely be bringing her back. So please give us any suggestions of conversations that you would want us to have with her. And I'll be happy to bring her back again. Please remember to also share this video with your friends, your family members. We say that in the year 2025, we are leveling up. We are making more money. We are earning in dollars. Amen. So thank you so much for watching. I'm going to love you and leave you. I'll see you on the next episode of Finance Friday. Take care.